Dear students, now we are going to solve important problems in direct form 2 structure. The first problem is to realize the given system using direct form 2 structure. The system is described with its transfer function h of s is equal to s squared plus 4s plus 2 divided by s squared plus 5s plus 3. We are going to realize the system using direct form 2 method. In the solution part, the first step is to divide the numerator and denominator of the transfer function with the highest power of s. Here the highest power of s is s squared. Okay, so we are going to divide all the terms in this transfer function with s squared. So we can get h of s is equal to s squared by s squared plus 4s by s squared plus 2 by s squared divided by s squared by s squared plus 5s by s squared plus 3 by s squared. Then we know that the transfer function is defined as the ratio of the Laplace transform of the output signal to the Laplace transform of the input signal. So h of s is equal to y of s by x of s. That is equal to the given value like this. So s squared by s squared is nothing but 1 plus 4 by s plus 2 by s squared divided by 1 plus 5 by s plus 3 by s squared. So after that, the next step is to divide the transfer function into two parts. So for this direct form 2 structure, we have to consider this transfer function as two parts. So for that, we can multiply w of s to the numerator and denominator. So this term becomes y of s by x of s is equal to y of s by w of s multiplied with w of s by x of s. So in the same way, we can write this numerator and denominator as a separate one. So here numerator as 1 plus 4 by s plus 2 by s squared. Here denominator can be written like this 1 by 1 plus 5 by s plus 3 by s squared. So next we can equate these two terms. So from this we can write y of s by w of s is equal to 1 plus 4 by s plus 2 by s squared. Here w of s by x of s is equal to 1 by 1 plus 5 by s plus 3 by s squared. Okay. So here we are equating the terms. First consider the input side. Actual input is what? X of s. Okay. So here w of s by x of s is equal to 1 by 1 plus 5 by s plus 3 by s squared. Then we have to cross multiply these terms. So x of s goes to this side. So 1 into x of s is x of s, that is equal to this w of s is multiplied with this value 1 plus 5 by s plus 3 by s squared. So we can multiply these values here. We can get w of s plus 5 by s into w of s plus 3 into w of s by s squared. So here x of s is the input, w of s is the output. So we have to get this output like this. W of s is equal to x of s minus this 5 w of s by s, 3 w of s by s squared goes to this side with a negative sign. So minus 5 w of s by s minus 3 w of s by s squared. Okay. So here this w of s is the intermediate output. Okay. Between the actual input x of s and the actual output y of s. So consider this as the first equation. Next we are going to draw the direct form 2 structure for this first equation. So here the actual input is x of s, the intermediate output is w of s. Okay. So here w of s is equal to x of s minus 5 w of s by s minus 3 w of s by s squared. Right. So here we have w of s, we need to have 5 w of minus 5 w of s by s. So for this value w of s by s, we have to give this w of s to this 1 by s block. So here we can get the value as w of s by s. Okay, that value is multiplied with minus 5. So we have to give this value to this multiplier with the value minus 5. So we can get the output as minus 5 W of S by S. Okay. So next term is minus 3 W of S by S squared. So here we have to get S squared. Now we have W of S by S. So if we want to get S squared means we have to give this value to one more 1 by S block. So we can get the output here as W of S by S squared. So that value is given to this multiplier which is having the value as minus 3. So at this point its value is minus 3 W of S divided by S squared. So now we have three values, X of S minus 5 W of S by S minus 3 W of S by S squared. We are going to add all these three terms to get the actual output here W of S. Okay. So this is the direct form 2 structure for this first equation. So next we have to equate that Y of S by W of S is equal to the numerator value 1 plus 4 by S plus 2 by S squared. Then we have to cross multiply this. Then we can get Y of S is equal to this W of S is multiplied inside this. We can get W of S plus 4 W of S by S plus 2 W of S by S squared. Consider this as the second equation. So for the second equation, we can draw the direct form 2 structure like this. So here the input is W of S. This is the input for this equation. W of S, Y of S is the output signal. So here it is the output signal. Okay, so Y of S can be obtained by adding W of S, 4 W of S by S plus 2 W of S by S squared. So we have W of S, then we need to get 4 W of S by S and 2 W of S by S squared. So we have to give this W of S to this 1 by S block, then we can get W of S by S. This can be given as input to this multiplier which is having the value 4. So we can get 4 W of S by S. What is the next term? 2 W of S by S squared. So here we have to give this value to this 1 by S block. This is nothing but the integrator block. We have to give this value to this 1 by S block. Then we can get W of S by S squared. And here the multiplier is having the value 2. So we can get 2 W of S by S squared. Here the actual input, intermediate input is given like this W of S. We have to add this 3 using the summer to get the Y of S. So now we have both a structure. So finally we can draw the direct form 2 structure by combining these two, equation 1 and equation 2. This is the final direct form 2 structure for the given equation. Okay, so here the actual input is X of S, the actual output is Y of S, the intermediate output is W of S. Okay, so here it is W of S by S, here it is W of S by S squared. Okay, so here the multiplier value is minus 5, here it is minus 3, here it is, what's the value here? 4, here it is 2. Correct? So this is the final diagram. I want to tell you all one small trick to draw this direct form 2 structure. So we can easily draw the structure by seeing this H of S value. So here S squared. So we need to have 2 delay elements or 1 by S block. So you can simply remember X of S is always the input and here Y of S is always the output. Correct? So for this we need to have one intermediate output like W of S. So S squared means we need to have 2 1 by S block. Okay. S squared means 1 by S as 2 blocks. That's it. Okay. Then we have this denominator. Denominator represents the input side. Remember that denominator represents the input side. So here we are having 5s. So 5s means the first value. Okay, so this has to be given with the minus 5. If it is plus 5 means we can say it is minus 5. So here it is 3. So 3 means we can take the second delay element with that value minus 3. So you have to remember this denominator represents the x of s, input side. Okay, so then we have to give it to the summer. Okay, then we can give this value here, and finally this is given to this summer. Okay, so come to this output side. So here numerator represents the output side. So here s squared is there. We can take the value as such. Then we have 4s. 4s means we have to take this value. Here 4s means we can take that value as such. No need to change the sign in the output side. Okay. So likewise here next one is 2. So 2 means here we can take this value to this multiplier 2 and add these two values together, and this answer is given to this summer. Okay, do you all understand? So simply we can draw the structure or we can verify the structure. So we can use the same technique for any values. Consider this example. Okay, so in this transfer function the highest power of s is 3. Highest power of s is 3. So we need to have 3 1 by s block. So here we can start with this input side x of s. Here the output is w of s for this x of s, correct? So we need to have 3 1 by s block. Okay. Then we have to start with this input side. Input side means denominator, correct? So here denominator represents the input side, s cube plus 5s squared. Okay, so here this is s cube value. 1 s cube divided by s is nothing but s squared is here. Okay, so here s squared is multiplied with 5, but in this denominator side we have to consider the negative sign. If it is positive, we have to put negative. If it is negative, we have to put positive. Okay. So likewise second 3s. So s square divided by s is nothing but s. So s term is here, that is given here, and that is multiplied with minus 3. Okay. So then the last term is 1. Okay. So s divided by s is nothing but 1. That is multiplied with minus 1. Here it is plus 1, right? So we have to say it is minus 1. Okay, sorry. So then we have to add all these values together to get this w of s. Okay. So this is for your verification purpose. This is w of s. Next come to this output side. Output side means numerator. So here the power is s power 2. So we are going to take the output from this s power 2. You all understand? So y of s can be obtained from this s power 2. Okay. So s squared, which is multiplied with 1 here, keep it as such, and here it is 4s. So 4s means s is here, that is multiplied with 4. So here in this numerator we should not change the sign. We have to keep the sign as such. So 4, then plus 7. So plus 7 means here 1 is already there, that is multiplied with 7. Then we can give the values like this. Summation. So we can easily draw the direct form 2 structure. So this is the method to draw this or to verify the direct form 2 structure. So next important problem in this direct form 2 structure is realize the given system. The system is described by its differential equation. So d cube y of t by dt cube plus 4 d squared y of t by dt squared plus 7 dy of t by dt plus 8 y of t is equal to 5 d squared x of t by dt squared plus 4 dx of t by dt plus 7 x of t. So this is the differential equation given. So in the solution part, the first step is to take the Laplace transform on both the sides. Then we have to apply the Laplace transform on both the sides of this given structure. Okay. After that, we have to get the formula like this. The Laplace transform of d power 3 y of t by dt3 is equal to s cube y of s plus 4 Laplace transform of d squared y of t by dt squared is nothing but s squared y of s. Similarly, we can obtain the values like this. Then we have to take y of s as a common one in the left hand side and x of s as the common term from the right hand side. Then we have to divide both the sides with the highest power of s. Correct? What is the highest power of s in this expression? S cube. So we have to divide all the terms in left hand side as well as right hand side with s power 3. So here it becomes y of s into 1. S cube by s cube is 1. So 1 plus 4s squared by s cube is 4 by s plus 7 by s squared plus 8 by s cube, that is equal to x of s 5 by s. Correct? 5 s squared by s cube. So s squared and 2 cancel, then we can get 5 by s plus 4 by s squared plus 7 by s cube. Okay. So after that we have to convert this into transfer function format, that is y of s by x of s. Okay, that is equal to h of s. So we have to move this x of s to this left hand side as a denominator value. Similarly, we can move this value to this side as a denominator value. So this is what the transfer function of the given system. H of s is equal to y of s by x of s is equal to 5 by s plus 4 by s squared plus 7 by s cube divided by 1 plus 4 by s plus 7 by s squared plus 8 by s cube. So in this direct form 2 method, we have to divide the transfer function into two parts. So we can take this denominator multiplied by this numerator as a separate one and mention that value as w of s by x of s, y of s by w of s, and then equate the terms. Correct? So here w of s by x of s is nothing but this denominator value 1 by 1 plus 4 by s plus 7 by s squared plus 8 by s power 3. So here the y of s by w of s is nothing but the numerator alone 5 by s plus 4 by s squared plus 7 by s cube. So we can write like this. So first we are going to take this first equation w of s by x of s. So next we have to cross multiply this two. Then we can get w of s multiplied with this values. We can get like this, w of s plus 4 w of s by s plus 7 w of s by s squared plus 8 w of s by s cube. That is equal to x of s into 1 is x of s. So from this we know that x of s is the input signal, w of s is the intermediate output signal. So we can obtain this w of s by moving this values to this side. So its sign, okay, its sign is getting changed. So x of s is minus 4 w of s by s minus 7 w of s by s squared minus 8 w of s by s cube. So consider this as a equation A. So next take the second equation. From this second equation, what's the second equation here? Y of s by w of s is equal to this value. So then we have to move this w of s to this side. Okay. Finally, we can get y of s is equal to 5 w of s by s plus 4 w of s by s squared plus 7 w of s by s cube. Consider this as the B equation. So next we are going to draw the direct form 2 structure for these two equations and combine these two structures together. Okay. First we are going to draw the structure for this equation A. W of s is equal to x of s minus 4 w of s by s minus 7 w of s by s squared minus 8 w of s by s cube. So here the actual input is x of s. Here the intermediate output is w of s. Correct? So here w of s can be obtained by adding x of s with these three values. So we are going to obtain these three values. First minus 4 w of s by s. Here w of s So we have to give this value to this 1 by S block. Then we can get W of S by S. That is multiplied with minus 4. Okay. Then we can get minus 4 W of S by S here. And then the next term is minus 7 W of S by S square. So here we have W of S by S, that is given to this 1 by S block. Then we can get W of S by S square, that is multiplied with minus 7. So we can get minus 7 W of S by S square. And the next one is minus 8 W of S by S cube. So this value is given to one more 1 by S term, S block. Then we can get W of S by S cube, that is given to this multiplier with the value minus 8. Here it is minus 8, right? So we can get minus 8 W of S by S cube. So then X of S is here. We have to add all these 4 values to obtain W of S. Okay. So next we are going to draw the final direct form 2 structure. So here the actual, consider this B equation. This is the B equation, right? So here the actual output of the system is Y of S. So Y of S is equal to 5 W of S by S plus 4 W of S by S square plus 7 W of S by S cube. So from the first equation, we have already obtained the value of X of S, that is the actual input to the system. Here the intermediate output is W of S. Okay, that W of S can be obtained by adding all these values like this. Minus 4, here it is minus 7, here it is minus 8. Correct? So here this value is W of S by S. Here this value is W of S by S squared. Here its value is W of S by S power 3. Okay, so what is the value of Y of S here? Y of S is the actual output of the system. So Y of S is equal to 5 W of S by S. So W of S by S is already there. We are going to give this value to this multiplier which is having the value 5. So we can get 5 W of S by S at this point. Then 4 W of S by S squared. So we have W of S by S squared here, that is multiplied with 4 here. Then we can get 4 W of S by S squared. So next 7 W of S by S power 3. So here W of S by S power 3 is already there, that is given to this value 7. Then we can get 7 W of S by S power 3. Then we have to add all these 3 values to get W of S. Okay. This is the final direct form 2 structure for the given system.